Hey everyone, today is Friday, October 10th, 2025, and it is time to open up the rock tumbler. I'm kind of excited because this tumbler, both of its barrels, are on stage 4. It's ready to come out. They should be completely done today. They've been in there 6 weeks because we ran them a couple times on stage 1 to get them really good. I can't wait to see that rock we found in the Glacial River in British Columbia. It's been in this tumbler for 6 weeks. This tumbler here has been going for quite a while also. It is on stage 3. It will be moved up to stage 4 and it'll be done sometime next week. I typically run them for like 10 days instead of a week just because if you run them longer, it's not really going to hurt, but it'll make sure all the grit is used up and worn down to nothing where it doesn't even do anything at that point. This is on stage 1. It will move up to stage 2. In here we have Cape Cod rocks. Very beautiful. Right here we have amethyst from Northern Ontario. Over here is a mixture of Saskatchewan and BC. Also Saskatchewan and BC. So basically all these started at the same time, these 3 barrels. The ones that looked like they needed it longer went over to the more aggressive, faster turning one. So they all started the same, but those ones I decided needed to go longer. We're also going to talk today about rock tumbler maintenance. This one I got used on eBay. It's a really nice machine, got it for about half price. A few hours after using it, it started screeching. So this is what's really good to put on there. You put a drip there, wipe off the excess, that's why it's on cardboard. On the inside you put a drip over there too. Also, I pointed out in my last video, it looks like the belt is shredding. You see how there's like little pieces of rubber coming out of that compartment? We're gonna open that today and do maintenance. The belts for this one and that one are fairly cheap. I got them over here. I bought a 5-pack, they were fairly cheap. These are belts for that machine. I bought a spare belt for this one just to have it. It is an $18 belt. This one has a more powerful motor, so its belt actually has rubber teeth on it like one you'd see in a car. Now, that one's unlikely to slip because of that, and it's in good shape, but I want to have another one on hand. So we greased all its points. The motor even has a spot to grease it. You see you drip grease in here and here. If you look on the inside there, you can even see the tube that goes down to the center pin of the motor. You just drip it right in there. Now these do get hot to the touch, almost uncomfortable. Yes, uncomfortable. I can't keep my hand on it any longer. That is normal. This is not energy efficient, this is not energy efficient, but they are extremely reliable. That one is energy efficient. And that's probably the best bang for your buck. That was $60 and it's metal, the bottom, everything. It just runs too fast is the problem. But these are professional ones. And how are we gonna stop a belt from possibly shredding? I'm not gonna put another one on there. That is because the belt is slipping. It's either not tensioned enough. I'm not sure if this has a tensioner. Like the belts on a car have tensioners. Sometimes they're inconvenient to get to. Sometimes they're rusted where you literally can't move them and you gotta replace things. But you can just buy this product, which is for cars. We're gonna use it on that belt. I think that belt can keep going. I don't think we have to put a new one. But you get this stuff, belt dressing. It's not oil, kind of the opposite. It makes the belt sticky, so it sticks to the pulleys and doesn't slip. You put this on cars, like if anyone has a car that screeches when you first start it, or maybe when you're driving it, you hear belts screeching. You spray this on your belts and it makes them sticky so they don't, start slipping. There's various reasons why you might want to use that, and I'm going to start using this on the rock tumbler belts if I notice them slipping. This one right here is not slipping, so I'm not going to make the mess of it. See, there's no rubber dust on the ground at all. And we got a spider friend right there, see him? Right there. We're probably going to start the wood stove today, honestly, because we have a day coming up. The high is 40 degrees or 5 degrees Celsius, and it's really, really cold at night lately. But I wanted to show you guys what we got here. These are going to go into this tumbler once we open it up in this video. These are from Moosehead Lake in Maine. I did a recent camp there. Kind of nostalgic because it was the same beach I used to camp on with my grandpa when I was only 5 and into my teenage years. This one kind of looks like a duck or a seagull head. We're going to try polishing that. This is not sharp. It's naturally polished from Moosehead Lake. You see, it was a very small bottle. Looks old. It's not sharp at all. It's very, very nice. I'm not going to polish that. I'm going to keep it as is. But some of these, I just want to see how they turn out. This is probably the most interesting one, especially when it's wet. Hopefully that one turns out really good. We got a bunch of pretty cool ones. Ones like this that have holes in it, you're gonna have to use a toothbrush or at least spray it out with a jet on a hose. If grit from the aggressive first step gets stuck in here and moved on to the polishing stage, it could scratch up and mess up your rocks. The same with this one, grit could get stuck in there. But not the most interesting ones, but it's cool to have some rocks from home. Look at this, it already looks like it went through stage 1 and 2. The lake did a good job. These also came from Moosehead Lake, these nice pieces of quartz. I don't intend on polishing these ones, but they look really cool. Look at the rust in there. I did use rust remover on a bigger piece, I'll show in a moment. These ones right here I also found. Where was I camping when I found these? I forgot. I forgot where these ones even came from. Where did this one come from? But it's really cool, and we're gonna try throwing that in the polisher too. It looks like black or dark green quartz. I have to look back and figure out where that came from anyways. But we had a bath of iron out, which is really good. So, iron out. Use this to get rust out of your rocks. Don't use this, it literally does nothing, and reviews say that can actually wreck it. But this, you're gonna see results in 10 minutes. So, this rock here was extremely rusty and dirty. There's still a good amount of rust, but that rust is caked in there so deep because there's a lot of granite, or I have a suspicion that this is shale because of how shiny some of it appears to be. But let me flip that over. There's a lot of quartz in this. It's probably about 50 pounds. I found that underwater when I was kayaking in shallow waters. Had to get out and grab it. And look, it's already naturally polished just from getting battered with little pebbles at the beach. Pretty cool. I don't know if I'm gonna keep it inside or use it in the garden, but I'm gonna show you what's in these. I don't think I need to show you the cleaning process of the rocks, but we're gonna open these up, bring them outside, spray them all off. We're gonna save the ceramic media. You put ceramic media in these to stop the rocks from bashing against each other when you're trying to polish them up towards the end. I don't use ceramic media for stage 1 or sometimes even stage 2 because you're not trying to buffer them. You want them to really be grinding and grinding. But you spray it out outside with a garden hose. If it's winter and you don't have a freeze-proof faucet, you got to attach it to your hose and go outside. This stuff, if these barrels stop moving for a day, you're going to have a bit of a problem. That one last time stopped moving for about 12 hours, and when I started it again, it was like, whoomp, whoomp. It had kind of hardened like concrete in there, and it will do the same thing in the traps of your sink. It'll solidify in your plumbing. Do not put what's in these down your drain. Always wash them outside, because you're going to mess up things. So we're going to go outside. We're going to start with these 3, and then we'll get to those ones. But I can't wait to see the finished product in just a moment. Stay tuned. All right, everyone, and we are back. We're outside now. These washers can really help sometimes pry these things off because they can sometimes get very, very stuck. Yeah, you do not want to get this stuff down your sink. We're gonna spray these out now. It's a pretty chilly morning, but we got warm water coming out of the hose. First time ever opening these ones up. This one was tight. I had to use my shirt to get grip. This one, I just can't get it open. So I need pliers. There we go. That's all we needed to help me open it. It looks like this one had a small leak ever so slightly, but it clogged up quickly and stopped. Okay, opened it up. The ones that are foamy are the amethyst. And these ones over here are Cape Cod. They're about to start stage 2 today, or maybe we'll make them go through 1 again. I gotta see them first. All right, everyone, we got everything cleaned off, so let's see what we got now. So, right here was the Cape Cod rocks. They just went through stage 1. They look a lot better now. Look at that one. That looks like half an egg. That looks really beautiful. This is the one I thought may have been a piece of petrified wood. That's smoothed out really, really nice. Here's that little clear one that looked like a coin. Didn't wear down much. And yeah, some of these that didn't look like much last week are really starting to show their beauty now. What else do we got down in there? That's another really good one there. Really love that one. Here's the one that was shaped like an A from last week's video. Anything else that I really want to highlight? This one still feels a bit rough. This one's also a bit rough. It's really pretty. Look at the pattern when I spread the water on it. Here's the teeny little ones, which I don't know if they'll survive another 5 weeks, but it's worth a shot. That red one's really, really good. And here's that weird one that had like that lump on it. I really like that. I hope that makes it all the way to stage 4, staying like that. Here's the one, the black quartz. Here's the greenish quartz one. So yeah, some very, very good results this week. This is the one that looked like a bear clawed it. Didn't change too much. So, we gotta think about it right now if I'm gonna run these again through stage 1, because I might. The amethyst here, I think I am gonna bring through stage 1 again. Here's an absolute giant piece of amethyst. It's gonna get a bit smaller, but it will still be substantial, hopefully, after another 5 weeks in the tumbler. And this right here is from Lake Superior. That one came out really good. The ones that aren't amethyst in here are from Lake Superior. We're keeping all the Ontario ones together. That's another very, very pretty one. And I will try to line these up so you can see what they looked like before. As I'm showing them, I'm going to try to put some pictures in there. I know I'm showing some of them kind of fast. Look at that. It's got green in there. That wasn't algae. That was actually beautiful green. So, yes, I will put this one through stage 1 again. The only reason I put the ceramic pellets in there, I usually don't in stage 1. I don't want the amethyst to shatter or anything. So yeah, we will stage 1 definitely again, and I think because it's the same tumbler, we're gonna repeat stage 1 for both of these. So that means these won't be done for at least another 5 weeks. Okay, so this one is gonna start stage 4 today. It's good to have wet fingers so I can show you what it looks like. This is the one with all the little squares on it I've been showing through the process. That one looks really, really cool, how they're all square and rectangular on it. This one kept a little bit of roughness through the whole. I don't even know why I am even tumbling this one. It kept some of its roughness. And this was just a ordinary plain one. I wanted to see how it turned out. Oh, I love this one, the avocado one. It still feels rough inside there, but the rest will be pretty smooth. This one's kind of cool too. These are all from Fife Lake in Saskatchewan. These teeny little ones came with the National Geographic kit. I was basically using them like the ceramic as a buffer for my bigger rocks, because most of the rocks in there are bigger. Now these ones just went through stage 4. At some point throughout the winter, when I'm scarce for being able to find rocks, you can't find rocks unless I happen to go down south to like Florida again. Sometimes I'll go down there because I got family down there, but up north everything's gonna be snow covered. This one does have a good polish. It's very smooth, but when it's dry, I think it could be smoother. I think we could run this through step 4 again at some point in the winter. These are from the National Geographic kit. I did not find that piece. I found this one. And there are some beauties in here that I found. I want to show you. So that is, I guess, is just rust in there, and that, I don't mind it. It looks good. This is just another ordinary one. Just very smooth. They're all very smooth in the hand. Super smooth. But I might send all these through step 4 again at some point. This is the one that kind of, I was saying, kind of looks like hieroglyphics, however you pronounce that. Like the ancient writing. It's kind of cool that marking survived it. These blue ones I did not find. Those came with the kit. This is another pretty plain looking one. This is the one I wanted to see. This is from the glacier water in BC. I love the shape of it. It's like a triangle. It's got a perfect flat part so it stands up like that. But when it dries off, it's not as smooth as it could be. All of these, I think, should go through step 4 again. Let's just dump them all out. Here we go. This is an absolute beauty. That's probably one of my favorites. Look at that. Awesome. From Saskatchewan. This one here is pretty cool. Someone said it kind of looks like a whale in my comments. It really narrowed down. It was a bit fatter and bulkier when we started. Now these are just a mix of things I found. They don't look the same at all from when I first got them. Very hard to match up to what we got. Tiger's eye I certainly didn't get. Doesn't that come from like Madagascar? Those came with the kit. You know, it doesn't make sense to start these ones from Moosehead Lake, Maine yet. I think we're gonna wait on these and do these in the winter. I'm just gonna stick with what we got. We're gonna send all these through extra fine stage 4 polishing again. These will go through it again. These are gonna repeat number 1 again. This is gonna move to number 4. And these are gonna move to number 4 again. But before we do that, I wanna do a quick amount of maintenance. I already opened the belt on that one, that's fine, it's got teeth. We already oiled everything in the last week on all of them. This one I didn't oil. Right here you see a little bit of rubber shavings. That's not coming from the belt, that's coming from the barrel and the rollers. Can't really do much about that. It's just wear and tear. Someone was asking me in the comments, is it okay to run these things 24/7 nonstop? Yes, they are made for that. These are continuous use motors that can operate nonstop. These are meant to run years on end without stopping because some of the most beautiful rocks take months to polish properly. That's why I'm not going to start this batch yet. So we open it up in there. Here's the belt. Yeah, see how it doesn't have a lot of tension? Not really. And there's no way to slack adjust it. See, it's got the cooling fan. There's the motor. No way to slack adjust it. So when there's no way to slack adjust it, you have to make the belt grip more. So, and that's where belt dressing comes into play. So we're gonna go ahead and start this thing upside down. It's super quiet without the rocks. We're just gonna put a little bit of dressing on there. We really want it on the other side of the belt from where we currently are, but it should dribble there. This is belt dressing. It's not oil. Oil would make it slip more, but this should make it grip. Let me shut it off. It smells really strong like alcohol. Just want to make sure it's actually getting in there, so I want to spray some directly onto the pulley, directly onto this part of the pulley. Doesn't matter if you spill. A oily machine's a happy machine. Ooh, is it gripping too much? Because it almost slowed down right there. Let me touch that. How sticky is belt dressing. Yeah, kind of feels like a fly trap. Hopefully I didn't put too much on there. But we can maybe get a little bit of it off. Try not to get my finger stuck in that belt. Haha. Come on out of there. These are powerful motors, so you gotta be careful around them. I guess I'll do it manually by hand. Try to get some of it off of it. Okay. Let's get you back on there. Back on track. Yeah, that definitely helped. It feels like I'm touching a fly trap, but not as intense. Get this oil off. And that will go a long way. Let me get a little bit more out of there. The pieces of paper towel in there. There's another piece in there. There we go. My fingers are kind of big, but running good now. We made the belt stickier. Okay, we'll seal it back up, and that will make you not go through belts as much. I just evenly distributed the beads again because I had them separate. See what it looks like when it's dry? Not too shiny, so we're gonna evenly distribute the big ones and the small ones again into these, and we're gonna start them back up. All right, I've just gone ahead and filled them all with water where they're almost under. Now, step 4, the polishing again. It looks white and it comes out looking like milk when you're cleaning them outside. That's what I just experienced today. So we're gonna go ahead, put a couple of these. So this is what am I using in this one? This is two tablespoons. So we're gonna go ahead and put 2 scoops, 4 in each. And step 1, we're gonna go ahead and put these, and this one we're gonna start with polishing again. So all of them are gonna be on step 4, and step 1 they're gonna repeat, and I like to run them 10 days. So let's go ahead and do that. You're gonna wanna have different spoons in every container, because if you accidentally get this in there, it's gonna scratch up all your progress. And now we're gonna put step 1 over in these. So it just looks like flour. Alrighty, those ones are sealed up. I tried to replace it. It doesn't fit over the bolt. I lost one of the washers, and I know what everyone's gonna say. No, I did not lose it in the gravel. I had it down here. It's probably just under something. I just can't find it at the moment, but I'm sure I'll find it later. And I probably should have extra washers. They're cheap at the Home Depot, like 30 cents. But I put these in here now, and I don't think that was leakage. I think when I'm cleaning it, water gets stuck behind these, because you see it's not right against the metal. We're gonna close these up now. Nice and tight. We're gonna get these going in a minute. Nice and tight, right? Yeah. Just making sure none of the rocks are holding it up. I don't think I had it that full. Okay. And I ran this thing now for 10 days, and I told you I got it used. I still can't figure out how the previous owner managed this, because that does not align with this machine at all. Maybe it was a different machine that happened on, and they just gave me these barrels that fit it. I don't know, because that does not align anywhere. This does not line up with that, nor does it line up with that. So it's a mystery of how that happened. Okay, they're on very tight. I'll start the tumblers again in a few minutes. I just want to do some oil maintenance on these and look them over real quick. See, this belt still has a good amount of tension, but it feels like it might need this in the near future. I'm over here putting these back on, ready to start them up, and boy, do I feel silly. That's why I couldn't find it. Every time I was lifting these up, looking for it, it stuck to that one. There it is. There we go. And I do put these on very tight. That's why I couldn't get that one off today. I put them on so tight right now so they don't leak. It hurts my finger. There we go. Nice and tight. Let's start them all back up. Maximum amount of days. Wait, do I gotta do that first? There we go. 9. I wish it had an option to just go forever. Okay, this one's got a switch. This one does not have a switch. You gotta plug it in. Alright, they're all going again. Alright, I did go ahead and put belt dressing on that because belt dressing doesn't just stop slippage, it also stops dry rot from using it. And these things can dry rot a lot faster than a car belt because they're running so non-stop. So I just loosened this up. We're gonna go in here. You need to be very careful with this type of rock tumbler because you literally can hurt your hand in this one. This one's very powerful. But the belt dressing, just see how I do it in here. Gonna put a little on the top. Just like that. Little up top. Oh, it made it kind of sticky, so we gotta help it. Don't put your finger in there. Don't ever have a motor just sitting there still because it can hurt it. It can burn out if you leave it there. Alright, it'll speed back up. Give it a moment. Put a little on the inside too. This is to try to stop it from dry rotting. It'll start moving again on its own. Now, go. Alright, it's picking back up. And that will prolong its life. Alright, speeding back up again. Alright, it's going good. I hurt myself bad there. I did not get my finger stuck, but when I was spinning that, that is as sharp as a razor blade right there. The edges of that pulley. Alright, I learned my lesson. Next time we are going to do that a little differently. But even this belt's showing a little wear and tear. See the grit? But I have a very tight bandage on there now. Pressure is stopping it. But we'll seal that back up. Yeah, that's a very sharp pulley. Got me pretty good. Alright. So while I was editing that, I'm sorry, I didn't get the best shots of before and afters of the rocks, especially when I first started tumbling like this. When I first started tumbling 6 weeks ago, I didn't get a lot of good before and afters, except that really special piece that I really love. And I made sure with the Cape Cod rocks to get good footage of nearly every single one. They did smooth out a bit, but you're really not going to see a huge difference in just 10 days. The quartz, the amethyst, you do see a big difference. They were sharp and jagged. Now they're pretty smooth, and they'll look even smoother after another 10 days. So I will get better as time goes on with the before and afters of these. I will try to do my best when I start new batches. Like, I'll show each of these up close. I think I'm going to take still pictures of each of these up close when they eventually go in there. Who knows, next week we might have 2 more tumblers coming out. I'm not sure. But this bigger piece like this, I might want to put it in that drum rather than this drum. We'll see how it fits. But I hope today's video was interesting, everyone. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.